Calling all teams and players, get into the box. Arizona Box Lacrosse presents the Best in Box Invitational starting in June. League practices will be held to prepare for a 6-week game series sponsored by String King. Get into the box. Register today at azboxla.com. And a pleasant good evening to you, everybody. Welcome to Haskell-Henshaw Stadium. We're on the campus of Corona del Sol High School. It's our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week as the Chandler Pumas and the Corona del Sol Aztecs draw the battle lines, both teams looking for their first win of 2018. I'm Jeff Lowry with APN Sports, our website, apnvideo.com. The Aztecs coming off a loss at the hands of the Brophy Broncos, 11-3. Of course, they are led by their leading scorer, Zach Turpin, a sophomore midfielder and attack. And he's going to need some points here tonight against a pesky Pumas defense. And maybe their top all-around player, number 29, and that's Mr. Mark O'Neill, the senior midfielding leader. He leads the team in ground balls this year as Remo Montalbano in his 4th season as head coach, assisted by Chewy Mars and Mike Pascuzzi. On the other side, Tice Thiessen. He has been the head coach of this program for so many years. He won a state championship when they were the Hamilton Huskies, and he is led by their top scorer last year, Dane Hiddle, who has missed a couple of games this season, but he and Alex Lee are their top scorers this year. And then one of the guys that can handle the stick pretty well, senior Ty Kofel. And of course, his brother Brady, outstanding too. So the 2018 Arizona Lacrosse League Division I standings, Notre Dame kind of running away with things along with South Point, but it's getting kind of bunched up there in the middle. Glendale and Desert Vista play later this week, and we're ready for our opening face-off. The two teams meeting at midfield. Let's give you the starting lineups quickly. On defense for the Aztecs, you got Saxton, Bustler, and McQueen. At midfield, Mark O'Neill, the aforementioned O'Neill, and Eric Bryce. And at attack, Denon, Fisher, and Westrake. We got a procedure call going against the Pumas, who come out in the red tops and white shorts. The Aztecs, the home team, and this game is underway as Corona del Sol wins the opening face-off. Of course, this Chandler Pumas team, we'll give you the Corona starters here in a moment, or rather the Pumas starters here in a moment, but this Pumas team is kind of a compilation of a couple of schools, including the Perry Pumas, the name that they actually have taken on here, the Chandler Wolves, and the Hamilton Huskies, so they kind of combined it and called them the Chandler Pumas a couple of seasons ago. We're just underway, no score. Beautiful Haskell-Henshaw Stadium on a Sunsplash early evening contest, kind of a rare 6 o'clock start time. Excellent ground ball there by Watchell, and he'll keep it alive for Corona, who tries to get their first shot of the game by Zach Turpin. Short-handed shot, and he left it wide left of the goal. Well, the last time we were here, Corona was without their starting goalie, but back in there is Ryan Henshaw, and he does an outstanding job, and he's one of the true team leaders out there, the senior for Remo Montalbano's Corona del Sol Aztecs. Here's the dodge, little alley dodge, but then decides to give it back to Turpin. A scoreless tie. We're just barely into this contest, a couple of minutes. Turpin looking to pull the trigger, gets the hands free, and a nice challenge there on defense. Let's look at the defense of the Pumas. Of course, they're led by Evan Doble, their sophomore goalie. Klemchek, Jackson Barth, one of the mainstays on the defense, and Landon Bryant getting the start here today. Kofel gets to move from defense to midfield. He's a sophomore. Nick Spartz, the junior, one of their top ground ball specialists. And Brody Kofel, the sophomore, number 10, round out the midfield. And the three attacksmen, Donaldson, Dane Hiddle, and Alex Lee. We mentioned Hiddle and Lee, their top scorers in terms of points this year. So a good check out front by Ty Kofel. who we highlighted at the top of the broadcast. Now the dodge coming from the wing. Here's the roll and the pass, and it gets away. It's been a long possession here for the Corona del Sol Aztecs as we are approaching the 9-minute mark here in quarter number 1. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League's Game of the Week. This is APNvideo.com. Watchell around X. And there's some good defense by Jackson Barth. Barth with a good stick check there and did not give him a good angle. Excellent job by Jackson Barth, the junior, on defense for the Pumas. And we're in a scoreless tie. Dylan Westrake, the junior attackman, he's the ball carrier as he moves it out top. No score, Corona in the white with the brown and orange. And here's a turnover. The ball's going to be turned over, and Nick Sparks, who has the ability to go coast to coast, get it to Hiddle. They quickly get it into the box. Here's the shot. The one-hopper bounces over and past the goalie, Ryan Henshaw. So I'll keep it a scoreless tie. 42 is Alec McQueen, the sophomore. Now Hiddle going to work. Picked up there by Saxton. Jacob Bergholtz, number 51, is checked in the lineup. So too is sophomore Logan Fraser. A 0-0 tie, 4+ minutes into the contest. Loose ball is going to be picked up. Actually, a little tough to see the scoreboard from here, that sun. We're right at the 8-minute mark here in quarter number 1. The dodge. Excellent job defensively out there, out front by Evan McQueen. He pried it loose, but the Pumas come up with a possession in a 0-0 tie. 7 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Well, an excellent job defensively by the Pumas, forcing that ball into X. Cole Baker, the sophomore, with a couple of good checks. And now the Pumas cough this one up, and we're going to get it over and back, one of the new rules in lacrosse this year. As we're coming to you from Tempe, Arizona and Corona del Sol High School. Evan McQueen with a nice clear, but then he throws it away. Quickly back to the action. And now the Pumas looking to clear. Brody Kofel. Check that. That's Cole Melton. Melton played quite a bit in that game that we covered over at Arcadia High School when Arcadia and the Pumas hooked up a couple of weeks ago. Both teams looking for their first win. The Pumas coming off their last game was against Notre Dame, and as everyone who has played Notre Dame this year, things did not go so well for the Pumas. Neither has it gone well for any other Arizona Lacrosse League team this year. Good dodge there, but a nice slide by Eric Bryce. On the defense for the Aztecs, we're still scoreless halfway through quarter number 1. Both teams have had long possessions. Now the dodge, moving right. Excellent job by Trey Bussler, who is, well, without a doubt, one of the premier players that the Aztecs have had over the past couple of years. We're going to get a whistle. We got a flag down on the field. And this is going to go against the Aztecs. And that'll be a cross-check, and that's a 1-minute penalty going against Evan McQueen. So a little aggressive play, and that's going to put the Chandler Pumas in a golden opportunity to draw first blood into this game. They're in a man-up situation. So a man-up situation here for the Pumas. They're in the red tops, white shorts. They'll work it all the way around. Now the wing, and now back up top to the very quick Nick Sparks. Stay with us at the conclusion of this game. We will have our post-game coverage and our Arizona Lacrosse League Big Play of the Week. A one-timer, a quick stick shot, and the quick restart for the Pumas, who missed the shot. Tanner Donaldson, one of their top players, who took that last shot, and now loose ball picked up by Nick Sparks. 0-0 tie. It's the Pumas of Chandler in the red and the Corona del Sol Aztecs in the white tops. Sparks running the offense, one of the three attackmen. Alex Lee tied with Dane Hiddle for the leading scorer, even though Hiddle's only played 3 games, according to the stats from the Arizona Lacrosse League website, which is www.arizonalacrosseleague.com. No score. We're in the first. Inside of 4 minutes left to go here in the opening quarter. And a turnover, and that's going to give it back to the Aztecs. Well, a very long possession as the Pumas were in a man-up situation. Both teams are even right now as Eric Bryce, the very speedy midfield sophomore, brings it into the offensive half, though the Aztecs haven't put it in the box yet, and now they have. Working the alley far side, now Zach Turpin. Picked up there defensively. The number 2, and the shot is taken, and the score. The Aztecs draw first blood. Dylan Westrake from Zach Turpin.
Goal by number 56, Aztecs, Zach Turpin. Goal by number 26 with the Aztecs, Dylan Westrake.
Face-off win for Corona. And then they lose it, and here comes the Pumas looking to equalize. So the Aztecs finally draw first blood. Took nearly 10 minutes of action to see the first score of the game. Sparks way out top. Yep, check that. That's not Sparks. Check that, Cole Melton. Melton has it pried away. Good check by Evan McQueen. Ball still unsettled. We got a push. And we're going to get a stop in play. And this is going to be a push without possession. And it will be Pumas possession. That's a good call by our officials. And Alex Lee will restart it here for the for the Chandler Pumas. This is our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week from Haskell Henshaw Stadium on the beautiful campus of Corona del Sol High School. Of course, this program's known for recently their great basketball programs, winning 4 or 5 state championships in a row at the 6A conference level, and the Pumas have turned it over, and we'll get a restart here by the senior leader, Trey Bussler. Now Bussler will try to bring it up out of his defensive half. And he's a big, strong boy, and he's tough to pry that ball loose. He stays in play. And we're going to get a timeout, a good timeout there for Corona del Sol. So after the timeout, Corona with a 1-0 lead, and we've got a 30-second push going against the Pumas, and this is going to put the Aztecs in a man-up situation. So it looked like that was a push on Alex Lee. I didn't see it. Get it out to Zach Turpin. Turpin leads all Aztecs in scoring. He's got 13 points, but he's been unselfish. He has 7 goals and 6 assists. Good rotation. Again, the Aztecs in a man-up situation. 10 on the penalty. Now Turpin out front. Tried to pass it in the low crease, and it was swapped away as both teams are now even. 1-0 Aztecs here in the first. We're inside the 2-minute mark. Kolker work it to the wing. And around to Mark O'Neill, the senior midfielder. O'Neill, an outstanding face-off guy also. Saw him in our pregame footage practicing the maneuvers of face-off X. And so many times now as we got a whistle and a stop and play, and the Aztecs want a timeout, as we wind down quarter number one. The Aztecs lead at 1-0. This is the Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week on APN Video Sports. Westdrake on the alley, up to Turpin, only a sophomore, but again the leading scorer in the game as the sun has finally went behind the grandstands here. We will be moving our location in the second half to the other side of the field. We'll get a little more intimate shots, and we'll bring that to you in the second half. Corona del Sol Aztecs, a 1-0 lead as Westlake scored right around the 3:28 mark in this first quarter of play. Pumas with a stingy defense, and it forces the turnover, or at least an errant pass, and that's going to be an over and back, and now the Pumas will try to equalize as they trail 1-0 here in the final moments of quarter number one. There's Dane Hiddle. 40 points a season ago, had an outstanding year in his junior season, and the senior is hoping to have a big night here. We're going to get a push, and the ball still going, and tempers maybe starting to get not out of hand by any stretch of the imagination, but we've got a couple of flags down, and this might be an unsportsmanlike on both players involved. You're going to get an unnecessary roughness, so I think we got a slash against one of the players and an unnecessary roughness on the other. So Corona will take over. And that is the end of quarter number one. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League on APN Video Sports. The Aztecs lead the Pumas 1-0. Calling all teams and players, get into the box. Arizona Box Lacrosse presents the Best in Box Invitational starting in June. League practices will be held to prepare for a 6-week game series sponsored by String King. Get into the box. Register today at azboxla.com. Back at Haskell-Henshaw Stadium, we head now to the second quarter of play. The Aztecs with a 1-0 lead, as Westlake scored at the 3:28 mark to give the Aztecs the first point of the game. And right at the doorstep was 24 Coker on a great feed from way out front. And now the ball's going to be turned over as Ty Kofel comes up with a nice ground ball and a great clear. Work it into the offensive half. Now Dane Hiddle looking to go to work here. Hasn't had too many touches in this game so far, as he's picked up defensively by Luther Saxton, the senior defenseman for the Aztecs, who lead the Pumas 1-0 on their home turf here at Haskell-Henshaw Stadium. On our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week, Hiddle getting the double team, back of X, and now promptly loses it and sliced it right over into the face of Ryan Henshaw. Now let's see Trey Bussler. This is where Bussler is so effective. He's one of the best clearers you're going to see here in the East Valley. Nice job. Cole Baker challenged him. He'll get back on the defensive side. And Corona will go full strength in their 6-on-6. Running the wheel play. Nothing there. Strong defense applied there by Landon Bryant. Where's Jackson Barth, number 30, one of their top players on defense in red. James Fisher, the ball carrier now. And there was not a whole lot there. Excellent defense by the junior midfielder, Nick Sparks. And going around the defender that time was Turpin, and he had a good-looking shot, but he's going to be turned away by Evan Noble. So Doble comes up, the sophomore. Procedure. And we got a procedure call against the Pumas. This gives it back to the Corona del Sol Aztecs. Somebody was probably making contact without the ball. Now from the wing, Here's Landon Coker, senior attackman. Pass to X, now goal line extended. I'll tell you, both of these teams offensively very patient and trying to work for that great shot. Now Barth trying to save it, and I've noticed that some of the players have been slipping on this turf, and it didn't seem wet when I was out there, but for some reason, and it's happened to both teams, you've seen a lot of players slipping out here, and you'd think as dry as it is, that would not be the problem. Here's a shot that's going to be corralled by Doble, and he's got 3 saves on the day. That was a great outlet, but it was dropped. Cole Melton couldn't corral it. The ground ball by Watchell. Watchell loses it in the paint as Barth tries to kick it over to his goalie, and this is out of play. So the Aztecs will get a reprieve here, and they will have possession. McGuire Denon, who is their second leading scorer this year with 5 points. The Aztecs come in here 0-6 by way of record. The Pumas are 0-5. Second quarter action. Nice dodge, but the shot over the top, but Jack may have held on to it just a bit too long, and as it goes sailing out of play, they backed up the shot nicely, and right now Jackson Barth is coming out of the ball game, number 30. As we come back to live action here, and hopefully he's all right. I don't know if he took a shot, I don't know, to the body or even to the helmet. But Barth is out of the game, and that's going to hurt this team because he's definitely one of the mainstays on the defense. Now Zach Turpin going to work. Now McGuire Denon, sophomore attackman, sparks, excellent checks there. You saw the slide by Ty Kofel, doing a good job, and the shot is no good by the Pumas. Here in quarter number 2, the Aztecs lead the Pumas 1-0 on our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week. Well, both teams have been checking hard in this game. Here's the shot, and the big overhand right is going to be in the back of the cage, and Mark O'Neill has scored. 2-0 Aztecs here in quarter number 2. It comes about 4.5 minutes into the second quarter of play, and the Aztecs are off and running. O'Neill scoring for the first time. That is his 5th point of the year, and now tied for second place in points on the team. CDS Corona with another face-off win. Good ground ball, and we're going to get a timeout, Pumas.
Timeout, Red.
So Brody Kofel, the sophomore, who they are hoping for big things out of as you get a wide shot at this beautiful Haskell Henshaw Stadium. Part of the grass is kind of dead, but outside of that, very lush landscape over here. And of course, APM, we've filmed a lot of games here. We filmed for the Corona del Sol football team for many years. This used to be a home away from home for a lot of us here at APN. Pumas trailing 2-0. Dane Hiddle gets around a couple of tough body checks there, and somehow he got the right hand free, and he has put his team on the board for the first time, cutting the Corona lead in half to 2-1. So Dane Hiddle scores his 9th point of the season. And now he is the sole leader in points on his team. Ground ball. And we're going to get a whistle and a stop in play. Aztecs apparently won the face-off. Not sure what the whistle is about. It's going to be a push. against the Pumas. So another face-off win, and the restart belongs to Zach Turpin. Turpin being marked up defensively by Cole Baker, the sophomore, as they work it over to Watchell. Get it back over to Turpin. Now going to work is Landon Colker. Looking maybe for a wing dodge here. The defense, Cole Melton. Now the dodge takes Colker into X. And he tries to sneak one in on a roll dodge, and give a lot of credit to Cole Melton, the sophomore midfielder, and he did a really good job of cutting off the angle on that shot. So the Aztecs clinging to a 2-1 lead here halfway through quarter number 2. Here's the dodge. Here's the shot. It was deflected out front. Landon Bryant, the junior, got part of the stick on it and deflected that pass before it even got near the crease. And the Aztecs are going to retain possession. We're going to get a slash, a 1-minute slash against the Pumas. So the slashing penalty will send Landon Bryant to the penalty area, the penalty box, and putting the Aztecs in a man-up situation, 6-on-5. So you can work for the good shot here. The penalty will be released in the event that Corona can come up with a score. And what a save that time by Evan Doble. At point-blank range, he was able to get that big face on the ball, and he comes up with a big-time save. And quickly gets it to Nick Sparks, one of the best clearers on the field. He'll get it into the box. And now the Pumas will settle into their 6-on-6 offense as they trail it 2-1 here as we're approaching the 5-minute mark here in quarter number 2. And a timeout, Chandler Pumas. So a timeout on the field. 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to play here in the first half. The Aztecs, who got out to a 1-0 lead at the end of one period of play. O'Neal scored at the 7:37 mark to make it 2-0. Dane Hiddle cut the lead in half with his goal at the 6:51 mark to make it 2-1. I'm Jeff Lowry with APMvideo.com, and we're so glad you could join us for Arizona High School Lacrosse, the ArizonaLacrosseLeague.com and APNvideo.com. Well, we were told, and I didn't know this when we were covering last night's Desert Vista Notre Dame game, and if you want to watch that, you can go to apmvideo.com and try to find that Arizona Lacrosse League page. Or you can go to Twitter at APMvideo, Jeff Lowry, L-O-W-E-R-Y, and that's usually where we post the games first. Or you can go to our YouTube channel, APMvideo, Jeff Lowry, or the ArizonaLacrosseLeague.com. But the league elected to switch up, change up the playoff scenario. When the season started, it was 1 and 2 got automatic buys into the semifinals, and then 3 through 6 would play essentially a quarterfinals, and of those 4 teams, the 2 winners would advance to play the 1 and 2 in the semifinals. Now, it's all completely different. The top 8 teams are going to make the playoffs. So it's going to give some teams an extra game, especially Sal Point or a Desert Vista or whoever's going to be, the top team, Sal Point or Notre Dame. Or who knows who's going to slide in there. It could be Brophy, who knows. So the top 8 teams will play. So Notre Dame will have a quarterfinal game this year, the number 1 seed. Broken up nicely. Excellent job by Raymond Lentz. We're not going to get a flag, and here's the one-hop shot, and nicely done by the save of Ryan Henshaw. Ground ball picked up by McQueen. He lost it. This one's going to go out of play. Kofel giving chase, and it will be Puma's ball. So 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, and 4 will play 5. That one blocked out front. Hiddle was in heavy traffic, and look at the ground ball by Bustler. Well, he's so good at that, but apparently we got a procedure against the Corona del Sol Aztecs. So I think it's going to make for an interesting playoff. Because once you get past Notre Dame and South Point, and really can't, you know, there's probably a big grouping there of the teams that are going to vie for the 3 through 8 spot. Right now, Desert Vista and Glendale, who play tomorrow, are a half a game separated by a half a game. Desert Vista 5-1, and you got Glendale at, Glendale at 5-1. Desert Vista 5-2, but they could move into the number 3 spot if they can come up with a win over Bill Casey's Vipers. Shot beautiful. Sparks has found the promised land to tie this game up. Good overhand shot by Nick Sparks. And with 1 minute and 21 seconds left to play, our first tie of the contest, and we're tied at 2. In what has been a pitcher's duel here at Haskell-Henshaw Stadium. So once again, well, a face-off win for the Pumas. Let's see if they can convert this into a score. Hiddle takes it strong. Turned away again by Ryan Henshaw, the senior goalie. Then he slips again, and Bustler comes up with a big ground ball and looking to clear for the Aztecs. Here they come across midfield. Led by Edgar Sanchez, and then he is drilled. The crowd wanted a foul there against Logan Barber, and they're going to get it. So that'll be a cross-check against Barber, and a man-up situation here for the Aztecs, who just relinquished their lead a few moments ago. 2 unanswered goals by the Pumas to tie this thing up at 2 apiece, but a man-up situation here for the Aztecs. We're talking about right now the number 3 seed would be Glendale, DV would be number 4. Good save by Doble. He's had a half a dozen so far, and we're tied at 2 apiece. Under a minute left to play here in the first half. Now Sparks going to work. Leads it up ahead. Good pass, right on target. We're down to the final 10 seconds of the first half. Chaparral 3-3. They would be the 5 seed if the season ended today, and then Brophy 4-5. Boulder Creek 3-4, but Boulder Creek, I believe, beat Brophy, so they might have the number 6 seed, and then Pinnacle and Mountain Ridge are battling for that 8th seed, in which Pinnacle did win head-to-head against Mountain Ridge. That's it. First half is in the books, and the score 2-2. We'll be back with the second half on APN in just a moment. Calling all teams and players, get into the box. Arizona Box Lacrosse presents the Best in Box Invitational starting in June. League practices will be held to prepare for a 6-week game series sponsored by String King. Get into the box. Register today at azboxla.com. Well, we'd like to thank Bill Casey for helping out with the Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week and his Arizona Box Lacrosse. I'll tell you what, right here we've got a 2-2 tie. I'll tell you what about the Box Lacrosse, and I've heard this from people that have played it, especially up in Canada, and it is a great way to refine your skills. It is a very fast-paced game. I guess it would be almost like playing, if you're a football player, it would be like playing arena football. But apparently, it forces you to more ground balls. It forces you to play a much quicker game. It really, if you apply yourself, as this shot is taken by the Pumas, trying to take their first lead of the game, as the shot was taken by the sophomore midfielder Brody Kofel. But it is a great way to refine your game, no question about it. So azlaxla.com, Arizona Box Lacrosse. I'm sorry, ArizonaBoxLA.com. I'll get it right. Pumas We've changed our camera angle to the player side of the field. As nightfall descends on Haskell Henshaw Stadium, we're in the campus of Corona del Sol Aztec High School. Nice job by McQueen over there on the wing. Good check there by McQueen. Alec McQueen. You got Alec 42, Evan 34. Shot. And Henshaw rises to the occasion with the save for the Corona del Sol Aztecs. 2-2 tie as we start quarter number 3. The speedy Eric Bryce trying to clear it. And quickly gets it over to Turpin, and he'll get it across the midline. Now try to get it into the box. You got 10 seconds to get it in there. And are we going to get a trip? We're going to get a push. I don't know why that wasn't a trip, but they're going to say a push without possession. Not sure about that call. I need an explanation on that one. Watchell back over to Turpin. Turpin is going to be the ball carrier for the most part for this Corona team. He has here today. The Aztecs got out to a 2-0 lead as the shot is corralled nicely by Doble, and here's the quick outlet, but this one's going to get away. And now the 50-50 ball at midfield. Who wants it? Aztecs got out to a 2-0 lead. Westrack, excuse me. Can't read my own writing. Westrack and O'Neill. Turpin had an assist. Led it 2-0, but Hiddle and Sparks both scored in the second quarter to tie it up. That was our halftime score. And 2-2 is our current score on our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week. Brought to you by apnvideo.com. Now O'Neill. Here's the dodge. Kolker takes the shot. He left it wide to the left of the goal. I'll keep it a 2-2 tie. Tice Thiessen, he is the head coach, lower right-hand corner of your screen in the red sweater. Led his team to a state championship back in 2008 at the Division II level with the Hamilton Huskies. And then, of course, this Pumas team is a compilation of, I guess, the Wolves, of the Chandler Wolves and the Hamilton Huskies, and I guess probably some Perry players are here. Here's a flag down. Is that a slash? Let's see. Yeah, slash. The second one called against number 23 of the Pumas and Landon Bryant. Two-two tie as the Aztecs are in a man-up situation. Shot taken, and the score, Zach Turpin with his first goal of the contest, his 10th point of the season. He has scored 8 points and 7 assists in a beautiful sunset here at Haskell Henshaw. So a big face-off coming up here. Corona has won 4 of the 6, and they lead it 3-2 on the second goal, or the second point of the day, by Turpin. Kofel with the face-off win for the Pumas. Quickly into the offensive half. Hiddle, give it up. And the behind-the-back shot is good by the trailer, Brody Kofel, on a spectacular play and an assist by Alex Lee. And thought maybe Dane Hill was going to take that shot. He gave it to Lee. They had the extra 2 passes, and we're tied at 3 apiece. That was spectacular. So the Pumas tie it up, getting a big face-off win, and they have done it again. Kofel with another big ground ball to lead the way, and they have won all 3 face-offs to start the second half, and we're even at face-off X 4-4. It's the Aztecs and the Pumas battling here on the Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week. So a couple of minutes into the contest here, quarter number 3. We've had 2 ties. We've had really one lead change. Unsettled ball in the wing, and the Pumas are going to get the ground ball. Nice job by Cole Melton. And we're going to get a timeout here by the Pumas. There is Tice Thiessen, the head coach of the Chandler Pumas. We're in a 3-3 tie from Haskell-Henshaw Stadium on the campus of Corona del Sol High School. Here's Sparks, 28. Lee and now Hiddle. Hiddle with 2 points here. He's got 10 on the season in 4 games to lead all Pumas. Lee has 9 points. He's second. Good job coming back. A little bit of a bull dodge there, and then Hiddle had a good look there. He got that offhand free. I think he's a dominant right hand, but he shot left-handed that time. Logan Frazier being harassed over there by Isaac Smith, the long stick midfield freshman. And now the speedy Sparks. He's got a good quick step, no question about it. Now on the angle, Hiddle pulls the trigger and he's found the promised land. Hiddle scores his second goal of the contest as he continues to be the top scorer on this team. And for the first time here tonight, the Pumas have taken the lead at 4-3. So we've had 2 ties, we've had a lead change, and all of a sudden, Face-Off X belongs to the Pumas after they lost 4 of the first 5 in this game. So a good job by Cole Melton. And give a lot of credit to Brody Kofel, who's had a couple of big ground balls and a BTB, baby. BTB. We saw one of those earlier this week. I can't remember where it was now. Now Lee, close to the crease, shot outside the goal. A little, what they call the grandma goal, because grandma thought it went in, I guess. I don't know why they call it the grandma goal, but that's what they've been known to call that shot that from the stands, it's hard to tell. And the Pumas leading at 4-3 here, taking their first lead of the game on Hiddle's second goal of the contest. High pass. This will be over and back. And this will turn it back over to the Aztecs, who need to come up with a goal here after relinquishing the lead for the first time in this game. We're in the third quarter, 4-3 visiting Pumas. They're in the red. Back on defense as Zach Turpin, who has 1 goal and 1 assist in the game. Jack Watchell moving left, north-south dodge. Now going east-west, and that one off, it looked like it might have hit Landon Bryant in the back, and I've noticed that the Pumas are without the services of one of their top defensive players in Jackson Barth, who left the game back in the first half. And hopefully he's going to be all right. This is Turpin, marked up there by Ty Kofel. Far side, Wyatt Masters. Here's the shot. Up top, Zach Turpin loves that area. But he missed it. He was wide left of the goal, but chasing the shot well was the Corona del Sol Aztecs. Denon on the restart. Landon Bryant, who has had 2 slashing calls against him today. The rule is if you have 5 minutes of penalties in one game, you are ejected, but you are not suspended for the next game, like if you were ejected for an unsportsmanlike conduct. Aztecs in possession, trailing 4-3. This is the first time they've trailed this entire game. We've either been tied, they were up 2-0 to start the game. Gomez back out top to Watchell. Turpin, guarded by Kofel on the wing, looking for an opportunity. Tries to roll around. Good job of holding his ground was Ty Kofel, the senior. And the sophomore pulls the trigger but cannot find the back of the cage. We're going to get a hold. That'll be a technical foul. This is going against the Pumas. And it's Ty Kofel on the infraction. So now the Aztecs with a chance to equalize. They're in a man-up situation. Halfway through the third quarter. Actually, well, we can't see the clock from here, but we're probably down to the last 3 minutes or so here in the third quarter. Well, a nice job there by Sparks. He intercepts in the defensive half for the Pumas. Races it across midfield. Quickly into the offensive half. He takes on Bustler, and he takes the shot and scores. What an impressive play by Nick Sparks as he turns it over in the defensive end. He scores for the Pumas, and they lead it 5-3 as he goes coast to coast. And then to add insult to injury, the Corona del Sol Aztecs are going to be man down again for an entire minute. Another slash. Sparks coming up with one of the big plays of the week. Speaking of which, stay with us at the conclusion of this game. We will have our big play of the week and interviews with players from the winning side. So stay with us for that. Should be a lot of fun. Right now, the Pumas enjoying their largest lead of the contest at 2. They lead at 5-3 here in the third quarter. Hiddle running the wheel. Cole Melton back to Hiddle. He dropped down on that one, and it sailed on him. Now the restart. Tanner Donaldson, the sophomore attackman, and Hiddle again trying to get his third goal of the day, and he's turned away by Ryan Henshaw, who's had an outstanding game here. Now Bustler doing what he does so well and clearing the ball. And he is not afraid to race into that offensive half. Release. Penalty has been released. Bustler needs an outlet here. That long stick, he might get a timeout from his coach, and that is exactly what happened. So a good clear by Bustler as the Aztecs talk it over. We come back to live action. The Aztecs in possession. Both teams are even, and a 5-3 deficit for the Aztecs with the visiting Pumas on top. Nice looking pass, broken up. Strong defense by Cole Baker on the takeaway, and then now Ty Kofel in the open field. The Pumas have outscored the Aztecs here in the third period 3-1. Getting goals from Kofel, Hiddle, and Sparks. Hiddle. Down to a minute left to play here in the third quarter. Good defense by Trey Bustler. Get it out top. The bounce feed rattles the back of the cage. A blistering shot by Brody Kofel. And for Brody, his second goal of the contest. Give Hiddle an assist on the play. He has 3 points. And now it is 6-3. And again, the largest lead of the day for the Pumas. Kofel again, they have 5 for 5 in face-off X, and I'll tell you what, if you don't think winning face-off X is important, well, you haven't watched the last quarter of this game. We were tied at 2 at halftime, but right now it's all Pumas. They lead at 6-3. They have scored 4 of the 5 points or goals here in quarter number 3. As we're coming up to the final seconds of quarter number 3, Sparks on the dodge. Work it back out of X. Up top, Hiddle. Bull dodging through, almost lost it. He did lose it, and an excellent job by Bustler. And he got some help from Isaac Smith. That's a Corona del Sol takeaway. That's the end of the third quarter. There is a flag down on the field. And it's going to be a hold against Dane Hiddle. That's a 30-second technical foul. Jeff Lowry back here from Haskell-Henshaw Stadium. It's our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week. Brought to you by Arizona Box Lacrosse, AZ Box LA, and Body Armor Drinks. Good job by that close defense. Evan Dobles had a great game here today for the Pumas. And they released the penalty. Both teams now playing even as Sparks, with a tremendous speed and a nice clear, gets it into the box. And now the Pumas will settle in. Dane Hiddle has had a good game here today. He has scored 2 goals and 1 assist. Teammate Brody Kofel with 2 goals. Sparks has a pair of goals. "6-3 Pumas here in the fourth." And it looks like the ball got caught in the netting on the outside. Well, nonetheless, Ryan Henshaw, the goalie, the senior goalie for the Aztecs, has had a very strong game here today. Dane Hiddle playing lumberjack there, trying to pry that one loose from the speedy Bryce. Now O'Neill. I really believe the Aztecs need a point here. They need some points. We know they need points. They're down 3. But I think this possession is very important. They've either led or tied most of the game. The Pumas dominated that third period, scoring 4 of the 5 points. But a point here for the Aztecs could get them right back in it. Shot taken wide by Mark O'Neill, the senior midfielder for the Aztecs. Of course, the junior varsity game's coming up next. Not on APN, but that'll be an 8 o'clock game here at Haskell-Henshaw Stadium. Turpin. And good job by the Aztecs following the shot, and backing up that time was Watchell, the junior midfielder for the Aztecs. They need a goal here. I think if Corona's going to win this game, they're going to have to score like 5 goals here in this fourth period, minimal. That's assuming that you give up maybe 1 more to this Puma offense. Zach tried to come back with the left hand, and that one deflected off the face of Evan Doble. Good job by the sophomore goalie. O'Neill. That was a good job defensively over there on the wing. Pumas defensively, they have been very stingy. Had, good hard checks. Broken up, another ground ball here for the Pumas, and I'll tell you what, Bryce Klimchak with an outstanding job. Now, did he throw it away? No, it's going to be picked up here by Hiddle. Hiddle's got the numbers, and he finds a man left of the crease as Hiddle finds Tanner Donaldson. Hiddle's 4th point of the game, and it's a 7-3 lead, the biggest of the day. Donaldson scoring for the first time. Hiddle's 2nd assist. Well, the Pumas have been impressive here in the second half. Finally lose a face-off. Aztecs, good look there. That was a nice clear. And Jack almost came up with a big score. Now on the restart, Westrack, who scored the game's first goal back at the 3:28 mark in the first. Turpin. Good move, frees up the hands, and then coming up on the slide was Brody Kofel. He gets the ground ball after he deflects the pass. big turnover in this game, and right now all the momentum for Tice Thiessen and his Chandler Pumas. Well, whoever wins tonight, it will be their first win of the season, so it's a big game for both these teams. And right now, the Pumas very content on slowing things down, and they can kill a little clock here. They're in a position to do that. I would almost like to see a shot clock at the high school level just to prevent a team in this situation from really stalling. And then they lose it. So a nice challenge there by Ishmael, the senior Gomez. It's now or never for the Aztecs. They trail 7-3. We're inside of 6 minutes. That's a nice job at midfield. Number 2 up ahead. Donaldson. Oh, a great save that time by Henshaw. They had the numbers. They executed it exactly perfect. Another shot, no good. Hiddle. Well, I'll tell you, Ryan Henshaw challenged back-to-back plays. Alex Lee, who had that great assist on the BTB by his sophomore midfield teammate Brody Kofel back in the first, or in the when was that? That was in the early stages of the third period. Right now, the Pumas in possession, leading this game 7-3. Their next game is on April 5th. They'll be taking on the Chandler Dogs, according to the website. Corona will be at Pinnacle. Pinnacle will be playing Chaparral tomorrow on APN Video Sports. 10 a.m. start time at Firebird Stadium. We'll have all the exciting play-by-play action of that one. You can go to the ArizonaLacrosseLeague.com website for all the games. You can also watch the games at apnvideo.com, apnvideo.com, or sign up and follow us on Twitter, our APN Video Twitter page. And usually, in fact, that's where it will appear initially. Quick one-time shot, broken up. Well, I'll tell you what, you give some credit to this Aztec team. They're playing with pride. They're playing gutsy lacrosse, good hard checks. They're down by 4. They haven't won a game this year. And once again, Ryan Henshaw rising to the occasion, and the ground ball turned up by Trey Bussler. Now over to Alec McQueen. Quickly up to midfield. Here's O'Neill. Aztecs need a goal, and they need a goal now. They're running out of time. Right around the 4-minute mark, and this one is going to sneak through somehow. Evan Doble. O'Neill has his second of the game, and they're kind of back in it. It's 7-4. Don't go anywhere yet. As we approach the 3-minute mark, O'Neill with a face-off win, greeted by Cole Baker. I'll tell you what, that's a nice job over there by Ty Kofel, long stick defender. Zach Turpin. Aztecs can't mess around too much. They need to get a quick score here. Down by 3 here in the late stages of the fourth quarter. We're inside of 3 minutes. Kolker. Good slide. Excellent job. Charlie Borg pried it loose, and then picking up the ground ball right down the pipe and knocking it through was Landon Coker, the senior attackman. Well, like I said, this one is not over yet. 7-5 is the score. Just a reminder, at the conclusion of this game, we will have our big play of the week interviews with players from the winning team. Sparks comes up with a huge ground ball and a face-off win for the Pumas, which has been one of the big differences. They built that, what was a 4-point lead, 4-goal lead, to 7-3, mainly because they won the first 5 face-offs. That was a big start of it, and possession means everything. So we will have 3 Arizona Lacrosse League games this week. This, of course, one of them. We will have Pinnacle and Chaparral tomorrow. We did the game last night at Notre Dame, Desert Vista falling to the #1 ranked and undefeated defending champion Saints. Corona will have the possession, but the clock is not in their favor. Aztecs led 2-0 in the first. They're going to turn this one over. Good check by Sparks. Nick Sparks has had a big game. Maybe not so much offensively. He does have a couple of goals here tonight. But his midfield play has been really sensational, and his ability to clear. And now the Pumas can pretty much run out the clock as they lead at 7-5. Inside a minute. Nice check over there by Edgar Sanchez. Still battling out there. Pumas don't need to take a shot. They can kill this clock. Well, my apologies. There is 2 minutes left to play. We are not privy to the score here. Henshaw got a piece of that one. He's in double figures in saves here tonight. So we're inside of 2 minutes left to play. Here is Henshaw taking that one away from Tanner Donaldson. Now Bustler, the senior defenseman. And he loves taking matters into his own hands. This is one of the more exciting plays in lacrosse, especially when you got a long stick pull, bringing it up out of the defensive half to clear it. It's exciting. Now Zach Turpin. Aztecs get a quick goal here. They've got a chance. And O'Neill left it high. One minute and 18 seconds left to go here in regulation. And again, a reminder, stay with us. At the conclusion of this game, we will have post-game interviews from the winning team. Right now, it's 7-5 Pumas. They're on defense in the red. That was a pretty good look there. A quick poke check. 23 may have possibly saved a goal there. That was Landon Bryant. Out front, and who wants the ground ball? And it is the Pumas rising to the occasion, and that's Klimczak. Klimczak. Excellent, excellent job by Bryce. Good heads-up play by Ryan Henshaw. 30 seconds left to go. And Dane Hiddle forced it away, but a ground ball by Lentz. And we're going to get an Aztec timeout. They trail by 2 with just seconds left to play in our Arizona Lacrosse League game of the week. And that's it. The ball game is over. And it's time for our big play of the week. It's Chandler and Corona, the Aztecs on the offensive end, and the big right-handed shot by Zach Turpin. The sophomore has given the Aztecs a point, and we're tied up. Now Chandler attacking, and another save, an outstanding second half for senior goalie Ryan Henshaw. Now the senior Mark O'Neill in transition. Get it into the box. Now Corona, who trails in this game, and they get the shot on the overhand by Mark O'Neill. That was pretty impressive, and Corona's right back in the game. All right, the Pumas come up with a big win here over Corona, 7-5. Great night for Arizona High School lacrosse. Guys, give us your names first.
All right, I'm Nick Sparks.
I'm Brody. I'm Dane Hiddle.
I'm Brody Kofal.
All right, Mr. Kofel, let's start with you. You got the play of the week. We're showing it right now to the millions of people watching. Walk us through. I mean, it looked perfect.
It was off of a face-off. I got a quick, pinch and pop-off. I did a quick feed to Dane, maybe thinking he'd shoot it, and then he passed it off to Alex. And then Alex did a great feed to me, and I just did behind the back.
So anyway, you had the great steal down here in the defensive end, and you go coast to coast.
Yes, sir.
Walk us through that thing.
Well, I got the ball. It kind of surprised me, so I just started dodging up the field. No one really picked me up, so I just took it to the net, hoping to get a slide, but no one came. So just thought I'd rip one.
Corona settling in here, and the pass is picked off in the attack zone, defensive end by the Pumas, and this is Nick Sparks. He's racing into the offensive half. He'll bring it down into the attack zone, taking on Bustler with the overhead shot. It's Rip City for the Chandler Pumas. What an impressive coast-to-coast play by Nick Sparks, and the Pumas are on the board again. Dane, you're the leading scorer on this team, and last year you had a big season, I think 40 points overall. What's the goal for this team going into the final part of the regular season?
I think we had a rough start, but I think our goal continuing is just play as hard as we can, just see what we can do and how we can progress as a team, and win as many games as possible.
How's it feel getting that first win?
It feels pretty good. It's a relief, yeah, it's good.
Something to build on, right?
Yeah, something to build on.
Well, guys, it was a pleasure watching you guys here tonight. It was a great win for you, 7-5 over the Aztecs. And those guys came out and really gave a great effort and hustled right up to the final whistle. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll see you down the road.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.